Guru Nation, how's it going? You ask, and we try our very best to give you answers. This one's not a good topic. That's why Katie's laughing, I'm assuming, because I'm not organized. But as you saw from the title, what do you do as a CRC to keep yourself organized? And Desiree, who's our other CRC, she usually sits right there, but is not here. She hasn't been here for a while, actually, handling some personal stuff. But she said Katie is the most organized person in this office, which, comparing to me, is not saying a lot, Katie. But Desiree is fairly organized too, so that's a compliment from her. Yeah. So you saw this person's question ahead of time. What do you do? Now, caveat is you're a new CRC, yeah. So you haven't been doing it for that long. But they're saying, how do you stay organized as a CRC?
Well, for the trials, like visits and stuff, I make cheat sheets. So I put everything that needs to be done in the visit, and then underneath that I'll put just extra notes and stuff like this blood work goes in a certain vial or anything like that, or if there's like scales you need for the visit, I'll put underneath print out scales, or if it's on like a certain website that we use, I know to go to that website for the scales and everything.
And how do you keep track of like the portals? Like we had this conversation earlier today about this new study, and I was like, do you have access to all these things? And you were able to find them miraculously.
I actually have a sticky note on my computer, so I write down each protocol and like what it is, what the study is, and then underneath that I'll put all the websites we use, and then beside or underneath all the websites I'll put this is IRT, these are, or this website's used for diaries, etc., and stuff like that.
Okay, so that's like organized from a macro level of the study as a whole. Like these are the portals, this is the eSource, this is the IRB, this is the central lab, this is the EKG, this is the IRT, this is the EDC. And then from a micro level, as far as patient visits are concerned, you go super granular. There's Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe, how do you stay organized?
How do I stay organized?
Yeah, I'm interviewing Katie about CRCs, about staying organized, but this is one of Ema's best physicians here. You might recognize this guy.
You got me eating my boiled eggs.
Oh, perfect. So how do you... You're in a busy practice. How do you keep yourself organized?
Well, you just, you got to have some sort of regiment. You got to put deadlines for yourself. And you got to get to work early.
Parkinson's law. I learned this recently. Parkinson's law. Work expands to fill the time you give it. Yep. So if you say, I got to do this in 4 weeks versus 1 week, your work will expand to fill that time. Same work.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I guess anticipating what you need to do. It's like, if you know you're going to need extra time to do something, don't BS yourself about it, and make the time to do it. And then you'll get faster, and then you'll be able to make time to do more things. So
faster and better, and we're going to get back to organization. But what have you seen, Dr. Joe, when it comes to patients and these study inclusion-exclusion criteria? Because you've been looking.
I've been looking.
And
I mean, I find a few people. I've really only found people for the OA trial that I thought would fit, and I think I've referred 3 or 4, and but most of them, they're already going to have surgery on their other knee.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just kind of give them the info, and I don't hear anything after that.
So what do you think sponsors can do to make studies more inclusive?
Well, they literally just need to be more inclusive. Like, they need to understand that patients are not going to fit into their perfect little box. So, there's going to be people with liver disease, there's going to be people with kidney disease, there's going to be people with dementia, there's, And so, you know, we're treating real people. We're not treating cherry-picked, you know, samples that, you know, that come out of a test tube somewhere. Like, we're treating people. So, if you want to do the research, do the research. Otherwise, you're not going to get data.
Yeah. No, thank you, Dr. Joe. Yeah. And I'll talk to you later about some referrals, because we can sure use some.
Well, like I said, I'm watching.
All right, thank you.
Anyway, I didn't mean to crash.
No, excellent cameo. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And so, Katie, from a micro perspective, okay, now we're back to the patient visit. Let's say visit 1, screening, visit 2, randomization, and on. You have another cheat sheet just for this, for every study, right?
Correct. Every study. Like he said, the more you do it, the more you're gonna get better at it, and like remember what all you need to do. But for every study and for each visit, there's a cheat sheet on what to do, checklist, anything that we sometimes miss or something, I'll write an extra note, or anything that needs to be signed, I'll write who needs to sign it, when it needs to be signed, etc., etc. So what about for, because a lot of the coordinator job is doing different tasks, like, you know, when there's patient visits, that's obviously priority, but when there's not, now you have to decide between answering queries, doing regulatory maintenance. How do you keep track? I know you're relatively new, but you've done it enough now to provide some valuable insight for people. How do you keep track of all those external things that don't necessarily go into like patient visits, but they still are part of CRC job? For that, I would say, well, there's some things that you do like after a patient visit, like you have to, there's usually 2 different websites you use, or that we use for patients visits. There's our main one, and then there's the EDC that we use. And so after each visit, or maybe the next day, I make sure and go back and input all the info into the second website, and then on that same day I'll go in the binder that they give us for protocol, I'll insert all of that as well.
You're talking like logs, like informed consent log, enrollment log,
IP logs, all that stuff, because all that stuff is in like 3 different places, so you gotta make sure it's all in all places. But also check your emails. There's always something new, always something being changed. So. And
your inbox was blowing up like from day 1 almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
Awesome. All right. Anything else for like, you know, future coordinator or somebody who's like first day is right now? To them, you're like a veteran.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, I would say. Just ask questions if you don't know what you're doing. I asked a ton of questions just to make sure I was doing things right. So don't go in thinking like you took a class and now you're an expert.
Oh yeah, even though CRC Academy is very good, and Katie is in that class. How's it going? Your best student?
Good. Obviously.
You have to be. All right. Yeah. All right, Katie. Thank you very much. Everybody, like, subscribe, comment, share. Catch y'all later. Bye-bye. Get organized, CRCs. Bye-bye.